Addicts Music Group. Lab 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 Addicts Music Group.
You know what time it is? This is Conversations with Maas. Subscribe now. Lock in. Let's go. Real shit, street shit, man, we watching Maas. Real shit, street shit, man, we call on Maas. Real shit, street shit, man, we watching Maas. Real shit, street shit, man, we call on Maas.
Lab Addicts Music Group.
This is Conversations with Maas.
Lab Addicts Music
You know
Group.
what time it is? This is Conversations with Maas. Subscribe now. Lock in. Let's go. Real shit, street shit, man, we watching Maas. Real shit, street shit, man, we call on Maas. Real shit, street shit, man, we watching Maas. Real shit, street shit, man, we call on Maas.
Lab Addicts Music Group.
This is Conversations with Maas.
Lab Addicts Music
You know what
Group.
time it is? This is Conversations with Maas. Subscribe now. Lock in. Let's go. Real shit, street shit, man, we watching Maas. Real shit, street shit, man, we call on Maas. Real shit, street shit, man, we watching Maas. Real shit, street shit, man, we call on Maas.
Lab Addicts Music Group.
This is Conversations with Maas.
Lab Addicts Music
You know
Group.
what time it is? This is Conversations Conversations with Maas. Subscribe now. Lock in. Let's go. Real shit, street shit, man, we watching Maas. Real shit, street shit, man, we call on Maas. Real shit, street shit, man, we watching Maas. Real shit,
Lab Addicts Music
You know what
Group.
time it is? This is Conversations with Maas. Subscribe now. Lock in. Let's go. Real shit, street shit, man, we watching Maas. Real shit, street shit, man, we call on Maas. Real shit, street shit, man, we watching Maas. Real shit, street shit, man, we call on Maas.
Lab Addicts Music Group.
This is Conversations with Maas.
Lab Addicts Music
You know
Group.
what time it is? This is Conversations with Maas. Subscribe now. Lock in. Let's go. Real shit, street shit, man, we watching Maas. Real shit, street shit, man, we call on Maas. Real shit, street shit, man, we watching Maas. Real shit, street shit, man, we call on Maas.
Lab Addicts Music Group.
This is Conversations with Maas.
Lab Addicts Music
You know
Group.
what time it is? This is Conversations with Maas. Subscribe now. Lock in. Let's go. Real shit, street shit, man, we watching Maas. Real shit, street shit, man, we call on Maas. Real shit, street shit, man, we watching Maas. Real shit, street shit, man, we call on Maas.
Lab Addicts Music Group.
This is Conversations with Maas.
Lab Addicts Music
You know
Group.
what time it is? This is Conversations with Maas. Subscribe now. Lock in. Let's go. Real shit, street shit, man, we watching Maas. Real shit, street shit, man, we call on Maas. Real shit, street shit, man, we watching Maas. Real shit, street shit, man, we call on Maas.
Lab Addicts Music Group.
This is Conversations with Maas.
Lab Addicts Music
You know what
Group.
time it is? This is Conversations with Maas. Subscribe now. Lock in. Let's go. Real shit, street shit, man, we watching Maas. Real shit, street shit, man, we call on Maas. Real shit, street shit, man, we watching Maas. Real shit, street shit, man, we call on Maas.
Lab Addicts Music Group.
This is Conversations with Maas.
What's goody? What's goody? What's goody? It's Tuesday night, and it's another edition of Adult Conversations with Maas. So yeah, and you already know tonight is going to be a hold on, y'all. I'm not sure what's going on. Oh, okay. Here we go. So, yeah, you already know. And tonight is a controversial conversation. And I know y'all saw the thumbnail. When thirst traps fail. What would they do? Will they do what Tracy Ross Ellis is doing right now? And before we go any further into this conversation, we got to give thanks to the Most High for allowing us to make it to another day. We got to give thanks. Hold on for 1 second. And this interview with Tracy Ross Ellis, and man, of all the people to do the interview, was none other than Michelle Obama. And that's what was even disheartening about the conversation was that Michelle Obama was leading. Y'all have to excuse me. I'm having all kind of difficulties tonight. Stuff happens. But yeah, of all the people to lead this conversation was none other than Michelle Obama, who's going through her own problems as news has come out that the Obamas may be divorcing. Now, there's something that, I won't believe that until I see it. I can't do that. I won't believe that until I see it. I don't see Michelle Obama and President Obama ending their marital relationship. I would hope not. I would hope not. So, Pontoon Jody says, what is a thirst trap? The best way that I can explain it to you, Pontoon Jody, is that lady that tried to take your trophy for the best angler, the best female angler online, what she was doing when she was not doing too much fishing, but walking around in her bikinis and basically trying to get a rise out of the men that were watching her channel. So basically, she tried to use sex appeal to get the men's attention to draw them away from real angling. Does that kind of explain what a thirst trap is? Yeah, the lady that was trying to take your title as female YouTuber of the year with her bikinis and prancing around, that's a thirst trap. She was going for men's most carnal nature on a fishing show. That's what a thirst trap is. So what I'm saying is, to older ladies, I'm going to go back to the thumbnail, because she's holding that banner right now. And what's funny is for the last 2 or 3 years, she's been posting on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, whatever social media platform there is. She's been posting videos of her prancing around, little cat suits, little booty shorts, all types of stuff to try to see in what she can pull by using those tactics. And when she didn't get the men that she was doing this to get attention from, she cops out. Exactly, Poncho Joe. Using sex as a weapon. That's what I call it. Using sex as a weapon. Weaponizing sex. And when that doesn't work, you put all the blame on men and you have no accountability. No accountability whatsoever. You say, well, I'm only dating younger men. But women, you cannot do what men do. You cannot do what men do in terms of sex and marriage. You can't. Because an older man can find a younger woman to marry with some normalcy. Bill Belichick is 78 years old. He's got a 24-year-old girlfriend. Currently. Those younger men that you all are dating, they don't want to marry you. You have no chance of that younger guy marrying you. Yeah, you can say what you want to say. But that's a cop out. That's a cop out to accountability. Because on one hand, you can't come out one day and say you regret not having children and marrying, and then the next day you're on an interview with Michelle Obama and you're blaming men and this fake toxic masculinity. What is toxic about masculinity? Yeah, people gonna get mad tonight, but I mean, what is toxic about masculinity? I'm still waiting for that explanation. She said that men her age are steeped in views of toxic masculinity. There's no such thing. There's nothing toxic about masculinity. There's nothing toxic about masculinity. That is a misnomer. That's to say that being a man is toxic. man is not toxic. There's no such thing. Toxic masculinity. That's the cop out. So it's toxic to be a man. It's toxic to exude manliness. That's what's wrong with society now. Women, you're not always right. You're not always right. So when you're not right, it's toxic masculinity that is why you're not right. Come on now. Whose fault is it if in your 20s and your 30s you were trying to big up your career? That's why we love you, Ponton Jody. But a lot of women don't want a leader. A lot of these women want a husband's son. A lot of women want a husband's son. A husband that you can treat like a son. A lot of people don't want to hear the truth. But on adult conversations with Maas, we are all about truth. We deal in truths, not fallacies, not fantasies, none of this stuff. We deal in truths and facts and data, research. Women, you can do like Tracy Ellis Ross and get you a younger man, but that's a toy. See how everything went from she couldn't get married, she couldn't have children to now, like I said, sex has gone from being about procreation about to being about satisfaction. Because that's the only thing that she can get from a younger man is sexual satisfaction. Because that younger man doesn't want to marry you. When women resort to seeing young men as anything other than sexual satisfaction, that's where they misconstrue things. Oh, Pontoon Jody, why did you say he was a wuss? Why did you say he was a wuss? But yes, women, you can do the same thing that men do. And find you a younger man and all this, but you won't the results won't be the same. And then when you don't get what you want from the younger man, then who's to blame then? The younger men because they didn't want to commit to a monogamous relationship with a 40-something-year-old woman, you can't blame him. You can't blame him. The common denominator of all those scenarios is the woman making the choices. Women who lead with sex appeal when the sex appeal is gone, what else is there? Women who lead with sex appeal, once the sex appeal is gone, what is there? What's there? Because he was. What's there? And I'll say this again. As a 40-year-old lady that's looking to get married, that is beyond the time when pregnancy is always tough, but pregnancy over 40, all of those women don't make it out of the pregnancy. So to a woman that's 40 years old is not really trying to have a child to make a man's name live on, if you can't give a man a child, what are you giving him? So how can you dictate terms when you can't even help a man pass his name on? You can't help the namesake's name live on. Hey, Scorp. So other than sex appeal, as a 40-year-old lady and older, Tracy Ellis Ross, I think she's 50. She says she only dates younger men. You're a do dirty. If you only date young men, you're destined to get done dirty. Do you have this? Is marriage still an expectation when you try when over 40 women try to get a younger man? How is it men's fault? How is it men's fault for the choices that women make? Why is it men's fault? Michelle Obama was bigging it up. Oh, he got you a younger man. Like bigging that misnomer up. The ex first lady and her brother in the background keep oh yeah, y'all. What type of dude is you, man? You going along with that bullshit. Yeah. Women want husband sons. Y'all got son husbands. All this gaslighting, lying. Some of it's not even gaslighting, it's just outright lying. It gets old. Because when you lie, you just have to keep covering the lie up with more lies and covering the lies up with more lies. Every man out here can't be full of shit. And then you have these over 40 housewives of Atlanta. You have one lady who has a baby by a 23-year-old basketball player for the Houston Rockets, and she has a 23-year-old son. You have a lady out here who has a baby by a 23-year-old basketball player for the Houston Rockets as a woman that's over 40, and she has a son that is 23. You got a 23-year-old daddy with a 23-year-old stepson. But nobody sees anything wrong about that. No one sees that as predatory dating. It's predatory dating. It's women that are over 40 that are looking for a retirement or retirement plan. A 40-year-old woman having a baby by a 23-year-old man is a retirement plan. I know I'm the villain tonight. That's why I put my fraternity brother, Kevin Samuels, in the corner. This show was dedicated to Kevin Samuels. All you hear black women and other women of other nationalities as well is complain and blame. They don't talk about their choices. Yes, it's crazy, Score. Yes, it is crazy for a 40-something-year-old woman to have a baby by a 23-year-old basketball player, 23-year-old man, and have a son that's 23-year-old as well. So you got a 23-year-old stepfather and a 23-year-old stepson. Tell me how weird that is. This dude is the same age as a man that impregnated his mama. It's got to be embarrassing. What's going on, YWG? It has to be embarrassing to the 23-year-old son. Because me, as a 23-year-old son, I'm not giving respect to no 23-year-old. I'm not calling that nigga daddy. This nigga's the same age as me. Excuse my language. But I'm talking as a 23-year-old. How can he respect his mom? How can a 23-year-old son respect his mom who had a baby by a dude that's the same age as me. But nobody wants to talk about that. Accountability. Accountability. We all have to be accountable for our actions. You have the free will to do whatever you want to do, but there's consequences to every action that you do. Then you got these women that made all these mistakes. And then they want a clean slate. And they want a clean slate and the best available man. That's not how it works. And then have the nerve to say what they won't do. If you know you done made a whole bunch of mistakes, you should be willing to do anything you can do to get a good man. You made those mistakes, not that man. Why the man gotta? What good does a man have of accepting your baggage? What good does a man have of accepting your baggage? And you have this misnomer about black men marrying outside of their race. Of the 38% of black men that are married, 85% of those men are married to black women. The national average for women being married is 54%. And 31% of black women are married, with 90% of those women being married to black men. 69% of women are not married. And these are 2024 numbers. Those 69% are trying to dictate the terms of marriage. Then you have 53-year-old women parading around. I have something for you all. I think I do. Yeah. Hold on for 1 second. Because I have the interview that everyone is talking about. We're going to watch a little bit of it so you all can see the fallacy. And Tracy Ellis Ross calls herself a choiceful woman. You have no choice. The man has the choice, and you have the choice in the man that you want, but you have no choice in the man who marries you. That is left up to the man to do the asking. So what is a choice? See these made up words. What these toxic masculinity, choiceful woman. These are made up misnomers. Yeah, you have a choice in who you choose, but the woman has no choice in who chooses to marry you. That's the man's choice. I'm gonna step down for 1 second. And yeah, we're gonna watch this video. And shouts out to First Lady, former First Lady Michelle Obama. Even though I can't believe she pushing this mess. Her fat faced brother, but here we go, y'all.
It's sort of innocently sweet and it's not so hard over the head. Like, can you stand alone in a room?
That's why I like the
Which
question,
is
because I would
like-
ask that all wrong.
Right. That's
Okay?
just the
I
thing.
would ask that
Are you
same
an
question.
insecure, trifling
That
ass?
is exactly right.
Are you so insecure
Yeah.
that
Are
you
you
can't handle
uncomfortable
a
with my
strong
bigness?
woman?
See, and Michelle Obama, she's throwing that ish out there, talking about who can handle a strong woman. Y'all really get caught up in this being strong. What is it about? What is it about being strong? I don't understand it. And a man can't handle a strong woman. The strongest woman in the world is no match for the strongest man. So what's this strong one? What is you strong at? And men can't handle a strong woman? Get out of here. Get out of here.
That's right. And
I
then
would ask it all
right.
wrong.
That's
He would be
Because
squashed
I
from
am
the
a
start.
boss. I am a boss.
I'm a boss. Are you okay being the
can you
fella?
level up? Can you level up? And then he's running away going,
I don't.
it's
She's
like
aggressive.
Women want to be men. She wants to be the aggressor. She wants the man to be the feminine.
How you doing?
I'm doing great. Yeah, feeling good. Another day, alive. We're getting to that age where,
No, we're not.
I'm just blessed to have woken up. Got up. You don't think we're at that age? You're older than me. We
yes.
are.
Yeah, but
We were in our 60s, my friend.
I know, but I'm hoping I got a good 20 more left. That's what I'm
Okay.
shooting for, at least.
But, we're at the age now where, it's not so tragic.
I know. Well, did you get enough rest last night, old lady?
I did. The girls came over for dinner and
Okay.
I was so tired that I left them at the table, which is unusual
I don't
because
blame
I
you.
love hanging out with my girls, but I was that sleepy. I was like, you know what? Mom's going to bed. You can sit here and talk to your dad.
Yeah.
But yeah, I got to bed early and had
Good,
plenty of sleep.
good.
How's your Airbnb feeling?
Oh my gosh.
Still
It
still
is.
happy with your situation?
I'm so happy that I did not go to dinner last night. I left here
just to stay in
just
your
to.
He has to be getting a nice paycheck. Because he can't be believing this ish they shoveling. He can't be. We'll continue.
Be able to
Airbnb house.
chill in my Airbnb in West Hollywood. And guess who visited me this morning to do their laundry?
Who?
Leslie. My daughter's in town here, and she came over to bring her laundry to do. I mean, that's
Why
that's
does
why
she
I
have
like.
laundry? How long has
You
she
know
been
why?
here?
Because she works out every day.
Oh, okay.
So
All
she
right, her
had a
gym
whole
clothes.
bag full of gym clothes and with underwear and stuff, and just put it in. And I was like, "Yeah, come on over." And
I felt behavior.
yeah, I can't
We're gonna
pay
tell.
work. So we said, "Listen,
We didn't come
let's go some."
I interrupt.
And so without
Yeah, come on, let's go. Yeah, here we go. Introduce Miss Tracy Ellis Ross. Let's get to it.
So they're playing at one of the admin gyms, and we get the call. We hear that the agents are like,
There's
Renegades coming back. There's been an accident, and I'm like, ugh, because I'm always like, be careful playing basketball.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be playing now. You now have a real important job.
Yeah, people are depending on you.
And it literally, he's coming in with a gauze thing on his.
Oh
on
my
his
God.
lip.
He didn't need stitches or anything.
He
Yeah.
needed like
What?
30 something stitches. I mean,
my
his,
God.
his lip was, I saw it. It was like he took the thing away and I was like, your lip. And he had some major speech. This was probably Saturday. He had some major speech on Monday. And I was like, this is what I'm saying. You're playing like you're 10 and now your lip
That
is split.
is-
So we digress.
Sorry.
Because
Yeah.
That's okay.
no
That's all right.
no longer
Long-ass
can
boob
are we dating people?
No, but
Or-
I am.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Yeah.
I was like, Tracy's, my girl.
Yeah,
I mean, the
and I do-
tales
I
from
do-
the road.
And I bring stories home. I
She's
bring back
got
to Michelle
some stories. I'm like,
what?
what's happened in the last several months?
And it's always eventful.
it's always
Yes.
good.
Well, the thing is, I stay open.
Mm-hmm.
I'm probably more
Way
open.
open.
Yes. Oh my God, that sounded so wrong.
I didn't mean that, Mom.
My heart,
your family.
my heart stays open.
Your heart
more
literally
open than
stays
it should.
open. Yes.
Yes. Yeah, that was
Okay.
hard.
All right.
More
Correction.
open than it should be, but I do date, and it's a fascinating adventure out there. Mostly though, I think there's really good men out there. I think
Mhm.
to a certain extent, I'm a very unique sort of unicorn of a woman,
Yes, you are.
and so it's going to take a unique person.
Mhm.
And in the meantime, I have really learned how to live my life and
Yeah.
enjoy it and not sit around waiting. I was saying to someone recently that I'm one of the first generations of choice, and it's
Mhm.
not anymore, which really, there was a window and that has shifted.
Mm.
And I do think that that's going to change dating for women.
Women, you have a choice in the man that you like. And hopefully the man that you choose will want to marry you. But have no doubts about this in your mind. That the man does the choosing in terms of who he marries. You can choose who you like and who you want to be with, but that doesn't mean he's going to go along with your choice. You don't rule that choice. Women do not rule the choice of marriage. Unless you get down on your knees and the woman get on my knees, I'm walking away because I'm no woman proposing to me. But women, make no doubts about that. You may have a choice in the man that you want to be with, but he does the consummating of marriage. Make no doubts about that.
Men so much.
When you mean you've been the sort of the product of choice.
Yeah,
you
like
mean
the
just-
assumption of
yeah.
Roe v. Wade
Yeah.
and the ability for a woman to find her
Mhm.
own delight and pleasure
Yeah.
and choice around how she navigates dating
Mhm.
or how one would navigate dating. And we're in a different world now.
Right
and I'm
about that.
curious what that will look like. It frightens me for younger girls because of many reasons, obviously.
Mhm.
But even with the systemic protection of Roe v. Wade,
Yeah.
I still was coming up against the cultural norms
Yeah.
of being a choiceful woman
Mhm.
and owning my own body and my own choices and what it is that I'm looking for in a relationship and the ability to negotiate in a relationship what it is you want the relationship to be between the two
Yeah.
of you, as opposed to what society says it should be.
Well, I
And
don't,
that's different.
I don't know that we're gonna lose that.
Negotiate. Negotiate.
I think women, we're used to having a say in our lives.
Yeah.
And I don't know whether the whole movement is about sort of reharnessing us. You know,
Sure.
whether is it really about
And-
you know
and can that really
reproductive
work?
rights? Can that really work now that women are educated and we're being raised differently? I mean, the truth is that men fathers are modernized.
Yes.
Right. I mean,
Mostly.
mostly they
Mhm.
are. You know, and if you were to ask the average man, how are you raising your daughter? Because you
Men, so men are modernized. Women aren't modernized. I think women are leading. Men have been who men are. Men are who men have been. I think women made those changes. Women didn't want to be in the house. Women wanted to go out and work. Men had been working. Men don't want to be housewives now. So who is modernized? Who is modernized? So men are modernized now. Women aren't modernized. This make what they are saying does not make sense. Men are modernized now.
love her. The average father that loves their daughter wants them to be excellent, you know, and they want them to have opportunity and freedom.
And
I mean,
freedom.
when you think about you don't want your daughter saddle marrying some guy that chose her because he just didn't think about anything else
and
was
who believes
ready
that
at
her
the
body
time.
is his choice.
Exactly. So I don't think a lot of
Men, see, this conversation is starting out crazy because men don't just marry to get married. Men don't marry to just get married. Men marry for love. That's why men fight for love. 80% of all divorces are initiated by women. I can't believe Michelle Obama is leading this conversation. This is a backwards conversation.
leaders are thinking about that. You
Yeah,
know?
well, and they haven't been asked to, because I think it's not always a context that if it's an area that you don't have to think into,
Right.
but I think there is it is a genuine regular thought process for me. It's one of the reasons, I mean, we've talked about this, that often I date younger men, and a lot of it is because
Let's stop on that, folks.
Oh my God, we had a
Several
great dinner.
snaps
We
on that one.
had a great dinner, by the way, where across the table, your husband goes, "But why?" And I said, "Well, maybe because I can."
Yes, Parish. This is what I'm saying. Tales from Tracy's.
It's fun.
She's
It's
got
really
Okay,
fun to
good
share.
Tracy tales.
But
you date a younger
I'm sorry.
woman.
But one of the
Younger men.
reasons, though, that because I had to ask myself that question, I was like, "What is this about?"
Yeah.
Because I want a partner, and so often, and
Those younger guys are not looking to be a house husband to a 40 plus woman. No younger man with means is looking to be a house husband to an older woman. Just like Gilbert Arenas came out and said, no woman with means that isn't broke would be in a relationship with a man with 3 other women. Now, I might not totally agree with what Gilbert Arenas said, but it's along those same lines. No younger man. It's fun. A partner. She's looking for a partner in a younger man. That's crazy. Let's continue.
It's not just that I'm older, I'm also very embodied. I am a full, very whole person who knows myself, who is in charge of my life, and who lives a very full, just robust life. So it's not just age, it's like life experience and sort of a difference. But I had to ask myself,
can it really be a robust life without a man? Can it really be robust if there are regrets of not having children and not having marriage? Can it really be robust?
the question, why? Why does this keep sort of coming up other than they're hot and gorgeous?
There's that.
There's that. But a lot of men my age are steeped in a toxic masculinity and have been raised in a culture where there is a particular way that a relationship.
So she's shitting on women. So she's shitting on mothers. Because you're saying that mothers raised men with whatever this so-called toxic masculinity is. She's shitting on all the mothers. Or am I missing something? So she's saying there's a whole culture of men who were these men raised by their fathers? Was there no mothers in their lives? So she's blaming a whole nation of women on some bullshit called toxic masculinity. Women, y'all gonna take that? She's saying that you all raised a nation of men who are toxic. Y'all gonna take that, ladies? Or y'all gonna take that, ladies? Because she's talking about your parenting skills. She's saying that you raised a nation of men that are toxic. Let's continue.
Looks. And anything that starts to smell of that for me, I did enough of it where I was controlled and felt like I was a possession or whatever those things were, or prize and I have no interest in it, and I will not do it again.
I'm sorry.
No,
Craig.
I was going to say, it's a generational thing. So it didn't matter how you met them, or is it just kind of the guys you're meeting?
That's obviously
too big of a generalization.
It's a generalization, but because I have dated men my age, there is a difference. There is an openness that occurs with a younger man around whether it's gender fluidity or not even having an issue with homosexuality. I mean, something is based.
She wants a dude that's gender fluidity. She doesn't want a man. She doesn't want a masculine man. She wants a man that's open to gender fluidity.
Basic as that there's times where I'll be, sitting across the table from somebody and just like, what did you just say?
Yeah, what century are you?
Like, oh my God.
Where's your horse and buggy?
Yeah, like, I'm so sorry.
And your bedpan.
Yeah, for real.
Chamber pot.
Yeah, your chamber pot. Your chamber pot. Like, where I'm just like, yeah, this is not a match. And I have long been past the age where I feel like it's my job to teach somebody or grow them up.
Yeah.
That I'm not interested in. So, but it's.
She's past the age of wanting to grow a man up, but she only dates younger men. You can't make this shit up. She's past the age of growing a man up, but she only messes with younger men. They don't listen to the nonsense that comes out of their mouths. She just said she only dates younger men. But she's past the age of growing a man up. Let's continue.
It's interesting. I mean, there's so many different philosophies on dating, and I have come up with mine. I have come up with what works for me and what makes sense for me. And
what works for you and what makes sense to you ain't worked in 53 years. 52, 50, whatever years. Who's to think you're going to make better choices now? Are you all listening to what this stuff that she's saying? She's a walking contradiction. She only dates younger men, but I'm too old to grow somebody up. I want a man, but I want someone who's open to gender fluidity. Are you listening to this nonsense?
And what feels safe for me.
Yep.
You know,
Yeah.
I mean, like I'm not on dating apps. I have friends that have great success with dating apps, but that's just not something I'm comfortable
So
with.
you're meeting folks in the wild then.
That's the only way for me, or someone sets me up, or
Okay.
I meet them at an event. I meet someone. It's usually people that also have a level of recognition that they, you know, have as much to lose as me to a certain extent.
Mhm.
I don't know. I mean, I haven't had great luck lately, but I do have to say I'm moving up on what it is that I'm looking for as a match.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've had some doozies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's just, I just love watching your life because you were modeling so many things.
People like watching a train wreck. Facebook shows you that. People enjoy a train wreck. People would rather watch a train wreck than get information that's going to be helpful. So yeah, you got a lot of people that pay attention to Tracy because you're a train wreck. You're talking circles. You're walking contradiction. And women are big up in what you're talking. So they walking in a circle, they damn self. Ladies, what does it sound like when you what does it sound like when you hear it? What does it sound, ladies? She already told y'all bad mothers. Y'all raised a nation of men that are toxic. She said she only dates younger men, but she's too old to be teaching someone. Ladies, do you agree with this? Is you following this lady? Is this who y'all look to for factual based info? Let's continue.
Next phase, how many versions of ourselves we can become at all ages in life, you know, and how to build the life you want.
Yes.
Not the life that somebody told you you were supposed to have. And let me tell you, I told you this about the girls, and Tracy, just like, you know, she mentors the girls. She's always there for them. But trying to make sure that I am not subconsciously sending them these messages about what their life should look like. Even like when you ask, are you dating anyone? I mean, that's something that we ask young people in their 20s. You know, the whole thing about weddings, you know.
We talk a lot about that.
Yeah, it's just like the pre-proposal and the bachelorette and the pre-honeymoon and then the 3 wedding dresses and you know, have you thought about
the amount of money,
your 32 list items of who you want to marry, or are you more busy picking out your photographer?
Yeah, it's interesting, that whole, I hope that is starting to dissipate culturally.
So.
I really do. I think social media is perpetuating some of those things in a really big way. But I did dream of my wedding growing up. And that's not to say that I didn't dream of the bigness of my life, but I could have spent a lot more time dreaming of my life. And you know, as much as grief does surface for me around not having children and not having a partner, I still wouldn't want the wrong partner.
That's a great point for people to hear.
I'm not interested in that. You have to make my life better. It can't just be, you know, I'm in a relationship to be in a relationship. So even though the grief does emerge and that comes and I hold that, I think of what I've done, and I woke up every morning trying to do my best. I didn't wake up one morning and be like, I'm gonna.
I got a reverb. I don't know where it's coming from. Hold on for 1 second. I need to figure out right here. There we go.
Mess this day up.
That's right.
So I must be where I'm supposed to be. And I don't know. Sometimes I think of all of the things I've done, the courage that I've had to have, and what I've had to learn how to navigate as a single person with no one to hide behind.
Yeah.
And it's built a really beautiful experience
has.
around me. And I have incredible friends.
You do.
Well, this is a good segue to get to our
Okay,
question,
let's do it.
especially the talking about dating and meeting people. And we have a great question. So Natalie, our producer, is going to read
Gonna
the
take it
question
away.
for. Make sure your mic works over there. Is it
I
working?
think we're good.
All right.
Yeah, we're good.
I'm excited. Hi, Michelle and Craig. My name is Ronan, and I'm 41 years old. I've got a question about that big, frustrating topic, dating. More accurately, I should say, how not to date. Let me explain. Throughout my 30s, I was in and out of relationships. One was very fruitful. It lasted several years, but in various respects of our lives, the timing just did not align, so we ended up splitting up. Since then, I've found myself in relationships that have been very clearly unsuccessful. One woman's creative and professional interests totally matched mine, but we fought constantly. Then I was with a woman who was great. Our leisure interests were similar. Her family was great, but I was just not that into it.
When you asked Craig that question, I think it's time.
Let's go back here.
We really want a partner and family. And if it is helpful, what tips do you have to help me put this period of non-dating into practice and to make it stick? Thanks for your advice, Ronan.
It's a great question.
Yeah. And it's interesting coming from a 40-ish man,
Yeah, I like it.
because men can marry when they choose to, just like
Well, yeah,
you
I
did.
thought that was
Right.
so interesting what you said. When you asked Craig,
Exactly. Exactly. Men can marry when they choose to, regardless of what a woman wants. And she said, just like you, to her brother, that just like you did. Men make that choice, women, not you.
Craig that question, I think it's timing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
That when a guy feels they're ready, then
Right.
who's
They
in
just
front of you?
pick. Right.
Which is crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. It's crazy.
So crazy.
It is crazy.
And then it
Just
takes
like-
your second marriage to figure out
Yeah.
you need to be
It's
discerning.
And for
Yes.
some people, like
I
they
know,
don't
I
go
know.
forth, or they never figure it out.
I know,
It's
I
just
know,
like
I know.
Fascinating.
My technique for the second one I thought was pretty good.
They never figure it out, but the women do. More men are married by almost 10% than women. So who's not making the choice? For 38% of black men are married. 31% of black women are married. So who's not making the right choices?
I think that is really, I thought that was
Yeah.
really helpful for other people to hear. The other thing I'm curious is that cultural that men, it's timing? Or is it, I don't know, it's just
Yeah,
nature
yeah.
or nurture?
Yeah, yeah. I think a lot of it is cultural,
Mm.
right? We grow up waiting to be chosen,
Yeah.
you know? At the school dance, you don't get to dance, or at least in our generation, you didn't get to dance if somebody didn't ask you to dance.
Yeah. And then if you are the chooser, then men are like, you're aggressive.
Oh my gosh, there wasn't any choosing.
Well, now for my generation.
Yeah,
Or I don't
yeah.
mind.
Yeah.
I don't even know my generation. For me.
Yeah.
Can I give you just a little
Please.
bit of a different thought process
Okay,
behind
yes.
it?
That's why you're here.
Imagine as a 17-year-old
Mhm.
and you're walking into a sock hop, which I just use for effect, but a dance,
but there are a lot
party.
of kids going, what is
What's a
that?
sock
What are
hop?
your
I know.
socks have to do with anything?
You go, but we used to have these sock
It's a
hops,
school
or it's a
dance.
school
Okay.
dance. So imagine you're 17 years old and there's a bunch of girls in there, and you go ask somebody to dance, and they say no, thank you.
Oh, terrible.
Yeah.
Heartbreaking.
And then you go to ask the next person, and they say no, thank you.
Oh, no, I don't like this.
But that's how it was.
Yeah, that's hard. That's very
how
hard.
it was.
Mhm.
So
That's the reality of being a man. You get told no more than you get told yes. A man will go through 35 women telling him no to get to the 36th woman to tell him yes. Men and masculinity comes with rejection. Being a man and being masculine comes with rejection. It's a given. Men have been told no by women since kindergarten. Women had the ability to say no up until you hit the wall. Then you still want to say no and complain about not having a man. Make better choices. The men you could get when you was 20 is not the men you can get when you're 40. But the women we wanted when we were 20, we can get them when we're 40 because we're making the most money we've ever made. And she can give us a baby. A 40-year-old woman with a 20-something-year-old man, you can't give him a baby. You can't help him. You can't help his name live along. You can't help him his name live on. You can't do it like men. You can try, but you can't. Because if a woman can't give a man a baby, what else can you give him? What can she give you? I got a video. We're going to continue with this.
the question you have to ask yourself as a guy is, do I just take what I have, or do I take the chance of asking the next person and they say no?
Yeah, the courage.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's
and it
that's
is
real.
Yeah,
It's real. So
it's an important perspective for sure.
Yes.
And it is hard, but ultimately you choose, right? It's scary, but so imagine the girl who is standing in the same sock hop with her shoes off now, all embarrassed because she's standing in her socks.
See what I have to put up with?
Mhm. I have 4 siblings.
waiting to be asked, and people are just passing her by, and they're a bunch of shy boys not even trying.
Mhm.
Whereas a guy can decide that the decision is still a man's to make.
Right.
No, is it though always? I just think culturally.
Listen to her. Michelle Obama just told her the decision to make a marriage is still the man's, and she gonna talk about, is it really? Hold on, let me run that back. Let me run that back and listen to this crazy woman. She's crazy. Women, y'all ladies, are y'all backing her? Are y'all backing Tracy Ellis Ross?
I have 4 siblings.
waiting to be asked, and people are just passing her by, and they're a bunch of shy boys not even trying.
Mhm.
Whereas a guy can decide that the decision is still a man's to make.
Right.
Not, is it though always? I just think culturally
I think
that is what we
culturally
say.
it is.
Yes.
Yes.
I think culturally,
Yes.
that's what I was saying.
Yeah.
The original question was,
Yes.
is it nature or
Yeah.
nurture? I think a lot of it is the culture
Yeah.
that gives that power
I agree.
to men. Now, it's a difficult power to have because with power comes responsibility and hurt and risk and all that.
Mhm.
But, even to this day, as you said, Tracy, if a woman crosses that dance floor to ask, she's aggressive. It's an unattractive quality. So now I either wait to dance
wouldn't
or I
say
don't
that.
dance at
don't,
all.
I don't necessarily agree with that.
Okay.
And I also would say, as a boy or a young man, if a woman walked across the floor and asked me to dance, it was no way I was going to say no.
Well, I think obviously there's all different kinds of people.
Yes.
There's
Yeah.
all different kind. I mean, and then we're not even entering into the gender fluidity within this conversation.
Absolutely. You're
Right.
right.
That is so much a part of.
Why does gender fluidity have to keep on being a conversation in this? She talks like a woman that wants to peg a man. All this gender fluidity
Is making sense of, and I think they're actually doing that really beautifully.
I do too.
And I've learned so much from the gender conversation and how it's expanded. I've learned so much about myself and what are the expectations that I didn't know were expectations about being a woman that I'm like, oh, I don't need to own that because I just thought that was a given, but now I know it's not, But I think the societal norm, yes. I mean, I had a guy say to me recently, yeah, you can't make a man do anything he doesn't want to do.
Mhm.
But culturally, you can make a woman do a lot of things she doesn't want to do because we're trained culturally
Yeah.
Mhm.
to acquiesce in that way, that's our role, that we are.
women, do you believe that in your gender role, it requires you to take abuse? Because that's what she's saying. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. Do you all agree with what she is saying? Ladies, do you all agree with what Tracy Ellis Ross is saying? Because if you do, you're part of the problem. And if you don't see it that way, you're going to be the problem. There's no change.
But I mean, this guy Ronan, I love the question because, first of all, what I will say to Ronan is no one knows you better than you.
That's right.
And your friends can have all the suggestions in the world. And some of them might be helpful ones, and some of them might be ones you want to consider.
Yeah.
And then I think the thing that you have to do is ask yourself, does that feel right for me?
Mhm.
Does that really feel like what's going to get the growth to happen?
Yeah.
And sometimes not dating helps people discover that. And some.
Who's growing? She's not growing. Is she saying that the man has to grow? Who is growing? Because she is not growing. Not from the stuff that she is talking. She's not growing. She's regressing.
Sometimes dating is the thing that helps people discover that.
Well, and it's interesting when I think, to your point, Craig, when you were you had your 32 list item, that was all about Kelly, right? I mean, and that's
Well,
sometimes what we do. Forget you.
Yep.
I think that's what a lot of people do. It's like there's a list of things that I need in the other person,
Right.
and and some of them, a lot of.
He wanted to interject, but she said, "Forget you." Come on, Michelle Obama, because he was about to cook. He was about the Glorilla. He was about to cook. He was about to cook. And she said, forget about you. We're talking about this. No, you can't do that, Michelle Obama. That's wrong.
A lot of them are superficial,
Mm.
like height and career and income and what school you went to, right? But it's all about the other person meeting a checklist. What Ronan's friends are suggesting and what I agree on is like, okay, there's that list about the other person, but what's your list? What is your 32-point list about yourself that you need to explore? And I think a lot of men
Don't.
And I hate to generalize like that, but so many women are self-reflective in our groups. We live in conversation. We live in a social world where we're constantly analyzing ourselves and each other in our conversations. This is the dialogue of women, and men aren't doing that as much. I think the younger generation is doing it more.
Yeah, I do see a lot more of it. I see a lot of it online, and I really celebrate it. I think it's beautiful to see men have these deeper conversations about who they are and what they want. But the norm is no. And then the other thing to me is the invitation, right? It's like, yes, that's the cultural norm, but the invitation is really to remind everyone, men and women, to take into account who they are and what is important to you. Is somebody's height the most important thing to you? And why?
Why?
Is it because of what other people see, or is it because of you? You know what I mean? Like, what is it? And I think those reflective questions not only help you in dating, they just help you in life.
So let's help Ron. What are some of these questions he should be asking himself?
Well, just like in developing your life, when I talk to young people, it's like, who do you want to be? What do you care about? And not what do you want to do, not what title you want to have, but how do you want to show up in the world? What's important to you? Is it kindness? Is it empathy?
Is it money?
Is it money? Yeah, for some people, it is.
Why did I know she was going to say that? Michelle Obama purposely left money out of it. She tried to leave it out of it. Tracy Ellis Ross brought it up. Money. What about money? I got a video for that too. Let's go.
Is for some people it's security, financial security. Some it's emotional security.
Is it important for honesty?
Yeah. For me, for example, like I knew that you date enough people, you date people that just cheat. Right. And one thing I learned, luckily I learned it soon, I realized that cheating, if I was dating a cheater, that had nothing to do with me, because like I am not inherently a cheater or a liar. I mean, I would rather just look somebody in the face and say, we should break up because I'm thinking about dating somebody else. And I'm not going to hold you hostage while I go experience stuff. So I had to pick somebody who had the same values about that as I do, right? I didn't want to be married or date somebody that I have to worry about who you texting, what's on your phone, where did you go?
That trust is not
that
an
trust
anchor.
is not there, and because it was important to them, not because it was important to me.
But they were the same.
That they had the same quality. That was way more important to me than what career, because I had dated people who were broken, in my opinion, broken in that way. And it's like, that's not fun to me, guessing whether my partner is faithful. Like some people.
Is Tracy Ellis Ross broken? Is Tracy Ellis Ross broken? This video, I'm not sure if we want to watch all of this.
People are good with that game.
Yes, some people that engages their chemistry. I don't know.
Yeah.
And I have no
The reason that I wanted to watch the entire interview was because I wanted you all to see everything that she was saying and in the context that she was saying it in. Because you can hear a blurb and you can draw from that what you want to. But when you see what made them say That's why I wanted to have a reaction video to this entire interview, because some of the stuff she said, you can tell why she's never been married. You can tell why she's never had children, because some of her thoughts, now they're her thoughts and they're what she's looking for, but what she's looking for is not walking up to her. And then a lot of the stuff that she said was contradictory of two statements 5 seconds from each other were contradictory. And I wanted you all to see that, because when I watched this entire interview, I was thrown off by how she was flip-flopping. She was flip-flopping the whole interview. But I wanted you all to see that, because I didn't want to just show blurbs. I wanted you all to see the whole context of the conversation. Let's continue.
No judgment, really. Like there's things for people. Everybody has different values around those things and what's important. Some people don't want deep conversation.
Yeah.
Some people, that is not their thing. It feels invasive. It feels uncomfortable. Some people do, you know. I also think for Ronan, I have come to really know that there's a big difference in somebody that I am looking at dating as a partner and somebody that's somebody to enjoy and take what I like and leave the rest.
Yeah.
And I learned as I've gotten older, like chemistry is not a relationship. And love,
say that again.
Chemistry is not a relationship.
Yes.
And love does not always include chemistry.
Yes.
And I'm somebody who wants both. Now, everybody's not like that. Some people are really don't want a sort of the passionate chemistry of, you know, intimate physical energy. That's not their thing. And you don't want to be in a relationship with somebody who that's one of the ways they communicate love, you know?
Scorp, I need to know what you think about what this lady talking. Because I know Scorp is always going to give me a honest assessment of what she sees. And Scorp, what you think about what Tracy Ellis Ross said this 35 minutes in this video?
Like, for example, I have male friends. I have one that we literally text and it's not flirting and it's all clothes and fashion and shopping.
All
and
clothes.
It's like a version of a relationship. He's the sexiest little thing. He's young. There's never been anything physical. But we have this amazing like exchange that happens
and I
all
don't
the time.
have that with my husband.
No.
I that sounds fun.
But that's fun, right? It's like so fun. And I'm single. Then I have a friend I go to the movies with. You know what I mean? And then there's people that and obviously if I end up in a relationship with someone, those probably will not continue. You know, those different things. But my friendships will continue because you also can't expect your partner to be everything.
That's right.
All right. So this is perfect. So, you know, how do we help Ronan become a better subject for women? How do we help him make himself into a more attractive?
Well, I think he sounds like he's attractive.
I think we've done talking about Tracy Ellis Ross. We'll end that right there. We'll get to the next one. I got something else for y'all. This explains a lot. This video right here explains a lot. So, listen, y'all. Take it in for yourself. Tell me what you think.
No money, make a woman happy in a relationship.
I think so. Yes. I'm gonna say no.
No. Hell no. Absolutely not.
No.
No.
Hell no.
How he gonna make me happy?
How you gonna make her happy with no money? A man with no money make a woman happy in a relationship.
I think so. Yes. I'm gonna say no.
No. Hell no. Absolutely not.
No.
No.
Hell no.
How he gonna make me happy?
How you gonna make her happy with no money?
only thing Tracy Ellis Ross brought up when she was talking about that relationship was money. I rest my case. What y'all think about that? Is that a misnomer? Was that just those women? Or is that a consensus? Because Michelle Obama, like I said, she purposely left money out of it. Because it's a given that if a man is going to take care of you, he's going to have money to do that. Women always bring up money. Scorp said that heifer is crazy. Now, we don't know if he cut out the black women saying, yeah, but from my experience, no woman has ever said that a man with no money can make them happy. Now, if I'm wrong, please correct me. If I'm wrong, please correct me. But I have never heard a black woman say, he can make me happy with no money. It was more along the lines of what them like, hell no. How can he make me happy? He ain't got no money. I ain't gonna make him happy. He ain't got no money. No, hell no. Hell no. Nah, he can't do it. He ain't got no money. You can't make this stuff up. Like my man Dante's Boxing Nation say, ain't nothing like a camera and a microphone. Ain't nothing like a camera and a microphone. Scorp says she has no energy for crazy women. She end up scrapping with them. No. Scorp, we don't want you doing no scrapping, Scorp. We don't want Scorp doing no scrapping. That's not what we want. We can't have our girl Scorp out there scrapping. We can't do that. Can't do that. Can't do that. Has the decline of relationship roles added to the lack of marriages? That was the poll I just put out. Has the decline in relationship roles added to the lack of marriages? And yes. Yes. Women want to be the head of the household. Women want to tell men what they want. Y'all ain't made good decisions in the men that y'all chose throughout life. How you gonna make some good decisions for me? Scorp said they gonna say something stupid. Tracy Ellis Ross said a whole lot of stupid in that interview. Tracy Ellis Ross set women back 40 years with some of the stuff she was saying. She talked in circles that whole interview instead of looking in the mirror. Everything she said, it was bouncing off. It was bouncing right back to her. It was bouncing. Look in the mirror. That's the common denominator in every choice you've made. Quit trying to cast blame on the men that you chose. Ladies, you can't blame men and on the choices in men that you made. Blame us for that. We don't have that much power. You can't blame us for the choices you made. You just can't do it. You just can't do it. RP, what they gonna do? What the ladies that do? What the ladies that use thirst traps? What they gonna do when they can't use that no more? RP, I know you gonna have something to say. RP, what's the go-to? What's the go-to, RP, when the thirst traps don't work no more? Who switch up? No, RP, no. We don't switch up, RP. No, RP. We're not blaming all the women. We just blaming the women that think like Tracy Ellis Ross. It's a lot of them. Women will always have thirst trap, and that's men don't understand. That's why they call it's a thirst trap. It's a trap, and men keep falling for it. Men keep on. Men are jumping into the thirst trap like men are cannonballing into the thirst trap, holding legs and nose. Yeah, cannonballing into the thirst trap. RP, whatever. Ain't no switching up. Who I am is who I am. Men don't do no switching up. That's another one of those cop outs. RP, you coming in here with another one of those lady cop outs. You coming in here with another one of those lady cop outs. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work, RP. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. Yeah, YWG said Tracy is cooked. She should have got married 35 years ago. She's cooked. RP. I'm serious too, RP. I'm serious too. This lady's crazy. Yeah, men keep falling for thirst traps. And I know. No. See, no, RP. Say you a good man, a family man, and then want to go. What's wrong with going out with the boys? You don't have to be single life. You can just be want to go out and hang out. Go to the sports bar, have a couple of drinks. Come on, RP. You acting like there is no ladies' night. You're acting like there is no ladies' night, RP. Come on now. So whenever ladies go out on ladies' night, it's just all good. We're just going out as women and RP, get out of here. Get out of here with that, RP. Get out of here with that, RP. Get out of here. What? Oh, see, I told you. See, RP, RP, you with Tracy Ellis. Tracy Ellis Ross is 50-something years old, and she wants a house husband. She wants a young guy to sit at home and watch her walk around in a moo-moo. No! It ain't happening. No man wants to sit, no 20-something-year-old man wants to sit at home and watch Tracy Ellis Ross walk around in a moo-moo. No! Older men who mess with younger women know that I'm not going out all the time. I'll be at home waiting. You go out and you shake your ass, and I'm gonna go out sometimes and shake with you. But them nice man, go out with the man. I'm here. Man, go. You can tame a Bronco, but a Bronco still wants to run. But they always run back home. You can tame a Bronco, but a Bronco's gonna run. But it always comes back home. I'm an older man that dates younger women, and I understand this. I don't have problems. I'm an older man that dates younger women, and yeah, I understand that I'm not going to the club every weekend. I may not go to the club at all, but I'll be here to tame that Bronco when you come home. After you went out and partied, yeah, you come home. I got the lasso. I'm gonna tame the Bronco. See, RP says she don't want no 20-year-old anyway. Whatever. RP gonna say the ladies night out, they go to dinner and go home and do. I don't go to the strip. I hate the strip club. I go to the strip club, but if I go to the strip club, I'm with a group of my homeboys and I'm sitting in the back. I'm sitting behind them. I drink. I don't tip. Hell, I look like giving some chicks some money to dance and get the hell out of here. I do not tip strippers. That. Right. Like YWC, man. Yeah, Tracy Ellis Ross need to sit up. Don't nobody want to sit at home and watch her walk around in a moo-moo. No. No. Older women, y'all got to get in where y'all fit in. You're not running it. You ran it from 18 to 18 to 30. Y'all ran it. Once you turn 30, your days of your days of coming over the apple tree and picking the apple that you want, those days is over. When you turn 30, those days of picking whatever apple you want out of the tree are over. You can't get up in the ladder no more to get the apples that's at the top of the tree. So you got to get with the orchard man who picks the apples. When you turn 30, your bargaining chips are over. You can still find a good man, but choose wisely. When you turn 30, your bargaining chips is over. It's over. When you get 40, you a mute. You just don't even say nothing. Your mouth is sewn shut. You just listen. And if you can't do that, then you'll be an old cat lady. Yeah, y'all don't want to hear this, but it's the truth. Y'all don't want to hear this, but it's the truth. Women think that they can have what they want. Women think they can have the man that they want, regardless of their viability as a mate. And you can't. And you can't. Women think they can have the man they want, regardless of their viability as a mate. YWG said, when a woman gets old, she needs to move out of the delusion of 6 foot and better and settle for 5'3". Damn, 5'3"? That's shorter than Spud Webb. Damn. 5'3"? Damn. Yeah. Ladies, what makes you think that at 40 years old you can still get the best man? Why you still think you can come and pick the best cat out? You can pick the best dog out the litter at 40 something years old. How do you figure that? How do you figure as a 40-year-old woman that you can pick the pick of the litter? That's delusional. Scorp said, YWG, how you know? You 4'9". And shrinking? He's shrinking, Scorp? Wow, YW. She said, you 4'9". How you know about somebody 5'3"? Damn. But yeah. It's delusional for a woman to think that in her 40s that she should still be able to pull the best looking man. Now, ain't nothing wrong with thinking you can, but it ain't happening. Women, y'all better start liking who like you and quit trying to make who you like you. I'm going to say that one more time. Women, you better start liking who likes you as opposed to trying to make the man that you like you. You better start accepting your blessings. And you women that say, I ain't no black. You women that say that, yeah, you won't get no blessings. Because you don't look at a man as a blessing. A man is a blessing to a woman that don't have no man. And any woman that don't look at a man as a blessing, you ain't gonna never have a man. Evidently, a man has more earning power than you. To the point where y'all will accept 50-50. Y'all will be a roommate with a dude. Give him live-in coochie. As opposed to getting with a man that's already taking care of himself. That's how goofy you women are. You all will get with the dude you want and go 50-50 with him when the man that wants you is already taking care of himself. Y'all block your own blessings. Y'all block your own blessings. Y'all would rather go 50-50 with the dude that you want as opposed to getting with the man that wants you that's already taking care of himself. That's the ignorance of a woman. I got tired of trying to court women. I got tired of trying to, make a woman like me. I got tired of that. I started liking the women that liked me. They're more amiable. They already like you. You don't have to do anything to make them like you. Everything else is an enhancement. I love women who like me. I'm not trying to go around in circles to figure out if somebody like me. I like women who like me. Not all of them. Yeah. Women better learn. Hot grease will burn you. Women don't learn. Women don't listen. Women just that's what y'all best at doing. And you think the louder that you are, the more right that you are. And it's the exact opposite. Because a person is smart, they don't try to drown down the person that they're having a conversation with. Hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button. Share this video out. Subscribe to the page. We have adult conversations over here. I don't beat up on women all the time. I beat up on men too. The next show is going to be about BS men. So yeah, don't think I'm beating up on y'all women. So I'm about to beat up on the fellas on Thursday. They're not exempt from what I got to say. They'll get theirs on Thursday. But tonight was y'all's night to get it. With the help of Tracy Ellis Ross. Her crazy ass. I only date younger men, but I'm too old to be teaching somebody though. Woman, if you don't sit your ass down and go put that motherfucking Eartha Kitt cat suit and walk around the house prancing, that's what you need to go do. Go back to prancing with your cat suit on. Don't talk in front of a mic no more. You sound crazy. And you think you was dropping gems, but you wasn't. And I started a poll late in the show, and I asked, has the decline of relationship roles added to the lack of marriages? 100% say yes. There are defined gender roles for a reason. For all you people who want the women to run society, there were women-ran societies throughout history. They all got ran over by men. Yeah, some tough women out there. But like I said, the toughest woman ain't no match for the toughest man. And there's a reason why. There's a reason why. And all this gaslighting and faulty logic is not going to change the fact that the man is the man. And a woman's a woman. And ain't nothing wrong with being a woman. A lot of y'all make it seem like it's wrong to be a woman and serve the role as a woman. You was put here to have babies. You was put here to be a mother. You wasn't put here to be no strong, independent, black woman, white woman, single woman. You wasn't put here to be that. You was put here to be with a man and have babies. You can get mad. You can say that sounds sexist. You can say what you want to say. It's the truth. It's the truth. Women are here to bear children and to have their family name live on. Men are here to serve women, to take care of women, to have children, and make the children better for the next generation. There are defined gender roles for a reason. There are defined gender roles for a reason. I hope you all will return on Thursday.
Lab Addicts Music Group.
Women with a mic. Ladies, you follow some of the logic of these women that are spewing rhetoric over the airwaves. You are bound to be in the same situation as them. Women were put here to have children by men. When you break it down to the root, that's what you all are here for.
Lab Addicts
Women
Music
that didn't want to do that, lay in your bed. But don't lead these younger women down the same road
Music Group.
that you done walked. And if you don't want to die alone and die a cat lady, change your ways. It's your boy Maas. This has been another edition of Adult Conversations. Maas P. When the thirst traps don't work no more, what will they do?
Lab Addicts Music Group.